Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Buckeye Racing Network. I'm Tyler Bentley. Alongside me in the booth in a special role tonight is going to be my longtime broadcast partner, Mr. Tim Henderson. He's going to be driving the 81 truck. Tim, you're out there running some laps in practice. What do you think about the Milwaukee Mile?
This is going to be a fun race. I'm going to tell you guys right now, the track temp's perfect. Nice and hot. Tires are going to go. It's going to be extremely fun.
All right, well, it sure is good to be back up in the broadcast booth once again. Got the opportunity about a week ago. Andrew reached out, asked if I was able to jump up in the booth and broadcast one of his races, and I schedule finally allowed it. Now that I have a little bit more time, free time, since becoming a father last April. So definitely hopped all over this opportunity, and here we are tonight. Looks like about 18 trucks are signed in for action. At the top of the timing chart is Scott Merrick in the number 4 machine. Aiden Schramm, I've been watching practice. He set a quick time earlier at a 30:66. Navarro, third quick in practice. Ben Wirt, fourth quick so far. Got about 40 seconds left of this practice session. Let's see if we can find a couple more drivers out on the racetrack. Matt Hinkle just turned his first lap in practice in that 52 machine, 12th quick there on his first practice lap. I know we're getting ready for qualifying. I'm going to bring Tim in once more here. What have you noticed so far about the Milwaukee Mile? Looks like in practice, at least, most of the drivers seem to be using that lower line in that darker paved area. I don't see too many moving up the racetrack. Do you think it's going to be bottom dominant tonight, Tim?
Oh. I'm sorry. Yeah, I may be upside down, but yes. I think it's going to be pretty bottom heavy. With the track temp being, well, now it's 102.9. It could, with as many people as we have, it could slick over with rubber, and it's going to get even more slippery down on that bottom. So it could possibly move up, maybe just a touch or two, lane or so. You won't know until we get about halfway through the race, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. But the key points are just, obviously it's going to be entry and exit. There's nothing, I can't describe another track that's similar to this. It's one of a kind. It truly is.
Well, thanks for the input, Tim. And I know it's been a long time since I've turned some laps here at the Milwaukee Mile, but from what I remember, just like you said, that's for sure. Aiden Schramm, taking a peek at him as he is working on his first qualifying lap here tonight in that 86 machine. A handful of other drivers on the racetrack: Merrick, Malgoza, Puckett, Dickinson, Owens, Henderson, Hinkle, Rooney, and a few more. Schramm's going to come around across the start-finish line. Lap number 1 in the books for him. He turns a 30.644. That puts him position number 2 on the board. Scott Merrick, first lap was a 30.55. That was a good first lap. Excuse me, that was his second lap. Josh Slater just turned a lap time at a 31.42. Ty Dickinson out there. Looks like he's already rolling through 3 and 4 on his second lap. First lap was a 31.74. Merrick bested his time at a 30.48. You see that in the upper right-hand part of the screen. Dickinson crosses the line. Lap number 2. Was he able to pick up there? And does, a 31.67. A slight pickup for him. Still P8 on the board. Matt Hinkle, another driver, heading out. Just starting, just took the green flag in the 52 machine. I like that orange color on his Ford. Orange and white, that's a good color combo. Jimbo Rooney, Jake Roya also on the speedway. Out of turn 4 to the start-finish line. Matt Hinkle's first lap. There's going to be a 30.86 here. That puts him position 4 so far. Let's see if he's able to best that. Tim Henderson, P3 on the board at a 30.70 in that 81 machine. Still taking a look at Hinkle as he rounds the bottom of 3 and 4 down the front straightaway. Crosses the stripe. Does he pick up there? No, a little slower lap to a 30.96. Tim's finished up his effort at a 30.70. Anybody else still on the track? Looks like Ben Wirt. First lap was a 31.44 in his Napa Chevy. A little higher than some of the others I've seen. I think he sailed it down into turn 3, trying to carry as much momentum as he could into the corner, and he powers out of turn 4 to the start-finish line. Crosses the stripe, does pick up there on his second lap, a 30.87, a nice pickup there for Ben. Still going to be at position 7. There. Jason Haynes not taking a qualifying time as of yet. Fred Hoffman are the only other 2 drivers that haven't taken a time as of yet. We got about 50 seconds left in this qualifying session. 16 cars taking a time. The only other 2, again, Fred Hoffman, Jason Haynes, just might be electing to start from the rear here tonight. Well, Tim, you looked pretty sporty there in your qualifying run, a 30.70. How's that feel?
Quite the improvement from what I thought I would run based on my qualifying effort. I may have cheated it up on the second lap. Did an old Phoenix trick, as if you're an iRacer, you would know what that trick is. I'm not gonna say anything, but yeah, I did an old trick. I blasted through 1 and 2, 3 tenths, 4 tenths faster than what I would have been had I not. I felt like.
All right, well, you're going to start P3. Congratulations to Scott Merrick. He is going to win the pole position here tonight in the Shamrock 100. Remember, the winner of tonight's race gets a custom trophy, and the hard charger tonight wins $5. To Scott Merrick's outside is going to be Aiden Schramm in the 86 machine. Row number 2 on the inside is going to be Tim Henderson. On his outside is going to be Jordan Navarro. Row 3 tonight, Matt Hinkle and Joseph Groom there in the 11. Row number 4 is going to be Ben Wirt in the 14 and Robert Puckett in the 45. Did I say row 8? I may have. Excuse me, row number 5. That was row 4. Row 5 is going to be Matt Taylor in the 15 on the inside, Josh Schlater in the 300. I think his truck actually has a 30 on it, but he is scored as the 300 on his outside. Row 6 is going to be Jake Roya on the inside and William Owens on the outside. Row number 7 is going to be Armando Melgoza and Jimbo Rooney. Row 8 is going to be Ty Dickinson and Sean Smith. Row number 9 tonight, and the last row, is going to be Fred Hoffman and Jason Haynes. That's going to do it for the starting lineup. 18 trucks. As the trucks are gridding up, let's take a look from kind of high above. Got some new cameras here at the Milwaukee Mile, so we'll be cycling through those this evening.
Thank you to SimWrap Market for allowing me to purchase them. No discount code, unfortunately.
You know, that's why here on the Buckeye Racing Network, Tim is the GOAT, because He
Out of
gets it
my
done.
own pocket. Out of my own pocket.
Yep, and I'm using some newer software here tonight that I'm not 100% used to, but I had to figure out my timing and scoring end of things, and now it looks like I've got that figured out to where I can see the leader on top. Before, my timing and scoring was jumbled around, so that was going to be a bit tricky. Tim, you could imagine.
Oh yeah, I could imagine. All right.
Anyways, you guys won the green here. Are you going to go green this time, or you got another pace?
Yeah, we got one to green here. Lights are out. We're gonna have Scott Merritt coming through 3 and 4.
All right.
He's rolling.
All right. I'll let you get to racing, Tim. We are almost into the restart zone. The pace car should duck on off this time. Takes kind of a late exit into the pit lane. Scott Merrick in the restart zone. Flagman waves the green flag. We are underway in the Shamrock 100 at the Milwaukee Mile. 2 by 2 into turn 1 and 2. Merrick with the slight advantage, but Schramm's going to hold steady up on his outside. Ooh, and Schramm got really loose out of turn number 2, but was able to hold on. Tim Henderson might fall into line behind Schramm in the 86. No, Schramm's going to continue fighting hard on the outside of turn 3 and 4, and he's still going to be hanging tough. Truck sideways a little bit on exit. Scott Merrick still fighting hard for the top spot. Schramm doesn't want to give it up on the outside. Got to be kind of weary if you're the 86. It's not the preferred line to be up there, so you got to watch tires and overheating them and sliding them. That will be a hindrance in the long run. Looks at Jordan Navarro there in the 96 and Tim Henderson in the 81s following 2 by 2. This looks like the start of the race here. Merrick just gets ahead. Schramm follows right in behind him. Thought about taking a peek to the inside. Merrick kind of had to block him off. 81 and Henderson goes wide, and Navarro fills the gap to the inside, and it's a slight gap back to the 52 of Matt Hinkle, who's single file. Groom there in 6th, and then Ben Wirt looks like he completed the pass on Robert Puckett for 7th. Matt Taylor, Jake Roya round out the top 10. Back up front, Merrick now moves up the hill just a little bit. Oh, and he's real loose out of turn 4. Saves the truck. Schramm moves to the inside to the race lead. New leader, Aiden Schramm in the 86. Navarro looks to the inside to try to take advantage of the slip up of the 4. Tim Henderson on the yellow stripe, got a little loose out of 2, has to gather it in as well. Schramm, we've seen his times in practice. He had the short run speed. We're going to see if he has the long run speed here tonight. He's going to look to separate himself from the field, already up a half a second over Navarro and Merrick, who still continues to run side by side. 4 laps complete of the 100, working lap number 5 already. A little further back in the field, we got a battle side by side. Matt Taylor, Robert Puckett. Taylor on the inside, Puckett working the middle part of the racetrack. They're still going to be side by side down the back straightaway into turn 3. That battle still rages on. I don't want to leave the front for too long because we're still battling side by side for the 2nd position. Navarro hanging steady on the inside. Merrick hanging tough on the outside. Looks like for at least 4 to 5 laps, it seems like you can hang on the outside and not eat up too much tire. As you see, Schramm has wasted no time. He's up almost a full second now over this battle for the 2nd position. Tim Henderson rolls the bottom there, trying to follow the 96 of Navarro through. Merrick cuts down, trying to get to the low line in front of the 81. Wasn't able to do so. Tim onto the apron. In 1 and 2, slides up, falls in line behind the 4 in the 4th position. Single filed out here through the top. Oh, half dozen. Let's go back a little bit further here. The first side-by-side battle. Robert Puckett still working the middle. He's continued to do that since the start of the race. William Owens down low, looking to take that spot. Completes it out of turn 4. William Owens into the top 10. Robert Puckett back to 11th. Just a little further back, we got a side-by-side battle. Jimbo Rooney, Josh Slater or excuse me, that's actually Sean Smith and Josh Slater. Pardon me. That's a battle for the 14th position. Back up front, Schramm still has a 9/10 of a second advantage over Jordan Navarro. Jordan Navarro has company from the Ford machine of Scott Merrick. He can't focus on trying to chase down Schramm up front. He's having to play some defense on the number 4 machine. Tim Henderson really rolled the inside there into turn number 3. Almost was able to get up underneath the 4. The 96 and the 4 both a little bit loose. Out of the 4th turn, Tim's able to close right in on the rear bumper. Aiden Schramm was the quickest truck the last time around at a 31:20. It looks like we're lapping in the low to mid 31s right now, the entire field. Happy birthday to Larissa out there in the chat. Again, we want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in here tonight on the Buckeye Racing Network. It's a pleasure to be with you. Matt Hinkle in the 5th position, minding his own business, rolling along. Joseph Groom in 6th, Ben Wirt there in 7th, and then quite a gap back to the 30 of William Owens. Pretty much single file it looks throughout the field as we continue to tick away the laps here at the Milwaukee Mile. Schramm, Navarro, Merrick, Henderson, and Hinkle. Your top 5. Looks like we got a battle a little further back. Puckett on the inside, the 27. Jimbo Rooney kind of makes a power move, tried to around the outside. Puckett got loose, way down low. Sean Smith in the 77 gets around. Fred Hoffman in the 13 trying to get around Puckett on the outside and is going to complete that pass. The 77 machine of Sean Smith is blinking a little bit, so hopefully that connection rights itself here before long, as it gets kind of scary for the drivers to race around one that's blinking. Looks like he's going to concede the position to the 13. Uh-oh, be careful there, still blinking. The 45, as you see, he's taking some precautions behind the 77 to make sure he doesn't make contact with him. Back up front, I'll tell you what, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Navarro, Merrick, Henderson. They haven't left each other alone since the drop of the green flag. Navarro's holding that 2nd spot, but with the way Merrick and Henderson is right up behind him, I feel like those 2 trucks might be a touch faster. They just haven't found their way around the 96 machine. We'll see as this run continues to go along here, and the tires continue to wear. Tim Henderson in the 81. He's taking a peek to the inside of the 4 as they race down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Looks like Tim's going to continue to bide his time, not push the envelope too early. The 81 machine does hook the inside really well through the corner. The 86 of Schramm still continuing just to inch ever so slightly away. Now 1.4 seconds the advantage back to Navarro in the 96. Again, he's got a mirror full of the 4 and the 81 behind him. Merrick finally takes a peek down to the inside. Is he going to have enough motor out of turn number 2 to make the move? And he's going to even up with him down the back straightaway, or at least his nose is there to the inside. Navarro drove it in a little aggressively to try to maintain the 2nd spot. Merrick wraps the bottom. That's just how you want to do it. to try to complete that pass, and does. Scott Merrick back into position number 2. Tim Henderson going to try to jump on that as well. The 81 and the 96 even out of turn number 2. Drag racing down the back straightaway. The 96 with a little bit more momentum since he ran the higher line through 1 and 2. Sean Smith a little bit off the pace. Looks like he's already into the pit lane as well. Sean Smith in the 77 off into the pit lane. Armando Melgoza has fallen back a lap. He's now in the 17th position as he just moved in front of the 77 of Smith. Connection issues probably plaguing Sean tonight. Let's move a little bit further back as we're single filed out up here. But Joseph Groom, Matt Hinkle side by side for a battle to get in the top 5. Groom was going to complete the pass on Hinkle. He moves up to position 5. Hinkle in 6th. Ben Air in 7th. Thought about trying to follow Groom through on the inside, but gonna have to find another way. And Groom way to the outside in 1 and 2. He's higher than anybody I've seen yet, but that should give him a good run down the back straightaway and separate himself by a couple car lengths over that 52. It does. Meanwhile, back up front, we have a new 3rd position truck. That's the 81 of Tim Henderson. He was able to complete the pass on the 96 of Navarro. Again, let me know who you're rooting on here tonight. I always enjoy seeing those messages come across through the chat. Looks like we got fans of the 86 rooting him on tonight. He's doing really well. Led quite a bit. Scott Merrick slowly reeling him in, though, as that second was around the gap, rather, was around 1.4 seconds. It's slowly come down to 1.1, so we'll see if Merrick's able to reel him in as the laps continue to tick away. Last time around, that 81 machine of Tim Henderson was the quickest on the racetrack at a 31.67. He was a 10th faster than Merrick in the 4 and 2/10 faster than the 86 of Schramm with an 87. So the 81 is lurking. The top 4 crosses the start-finish line there to complete lap 21. Let's go back to the battle for 6th. Still single file. Ben, we're still trying to find a way around that 52 machine. A little further back, we may have a pass here. I saw it on the timing and scoring. It looks like Fred Hoffman either maintained or went around the outside of Matt Taylor for the 10th position. As I stated that, the 14 machine of Ben Wirt gets to the inside of the 52, moves him up to position 6. The 11 of Groom really loose out of turn 4 as he continues searching around the racetrack, running a different line than the other trucks. Ben Wirt looks to the inside here. Let's see what he's able to do out of turn 2. Drag racing down that back straightaway. Into turn 3. Groom sails it on the outside. Wirt down on the inside. The 11, if he doesn't get loose like the last time, which he didn't, again, that momentum evens him right back up with that 14 machine. And they're still going to continue to battle for that 5th place position. That's the 11 and 14 machines. Yeah, nailing that bottom is an art, I'll tell you, but the person that runs the outside, so the 11 of Joseph Groom, if he runs that really well, he's going to get a great run down the straightaway just because he's able to keep more RPM up on that outside. The 14 clears the 11 for a moment, but the 11's powering through the center of the corner off, and they're even back up at the exit of the corner. So the 14 still not quite able to complete that pass for the 5th position. We've got Sweet Tea Gang fans out there, Jordan and Ty. They want them to bring the trophy home. All right. Jordan's running in the 4th position, and Ty's back in 13th.
Hey, man, where's all our fans?
That's what I was wondering. I'm just kidding. No. Anyway, that was Tim Henderson checking in, as he must have a down moment up here as an in-race reporter, running in the third spot as he is reeling in the top two. Merrick is definitely caught up to the rear bumper of Schramm in the 86. Just a car length, or a truck length rather, separating those two machines.
Oh, man, come on.
And the yellow flag is displayed for the first time here tonight. I am going to assume that this might have happened with the 77 machine. We're going to go back and take a look, as he was blinking there, still blinking. That's why the camera is kind of glitching out, and he, I think, lagged all the way out. I don't see him anymore. It's showing he towed to pits. So the 77, the connection issues finally plagued his machine, it looks like.
Well, that's pretty unfortunate. That kind of sucks for that driver right there.
Oh, I agree. But we noted it earlier.
All right, we're going to be coming to pit road. Pit lanes is open. We're going to see if we have any takers here.
Yeah, we do. Looks like the 86, the 4, the 96 all coming down into the pit lane. The 81 of Henderson stays out. He might be one of the only ones that stayed out. No, the 14 of Ben Wirt stays out with him. So we're going to have some strategy being played here. So you see a bunch of trucks in getting service. Here the 4, the 86, the 96, and the 52. 52 gets service complete. Actually might beat out. Yeah, he does. The 52 wins the race off of pit road. That's Matt Hinkle. Merrick, Schramm, Navarro, and it looks like William Owens follow him out of the pit lane. So the 52 looks like he only had an 8.8 second stop. He might have just topped off with fuel there instead of taking tires. Keep an eye on that. Oh, he's going to come back down now. He must have not selected tires on his pit stop, so he decides to come back in. So, new leader is going to be the 81 of Henderson, 14 of Ben Wirt. It's going to restart on the outside. That's going to be your front row. And then you've got the fresh tires on behind. All right, lights are out on the pace vehicle. We are double filed up. The field is going to be in control of the 81 machine of Tim Henderson. 30 laps already complete here in this Shamrock 100. With varying strategies, the top two stayed out. Everybody else came in and took fresh tires. Into the restart zone we go. Tim accelerates. We are back under the green flag. The 14 did not get the restart he needed. He's going to lose second, probably third to the 96 of Navarro, as we're way around the outside here with the 86 of Schramm now to the inside. The top three are clear. Then it's side by side for fourth. Now for fifth as the 86 of Schramm clears work. Tim Henderson on the older tires. Let's see what he's able to do. The 4 machine of Merrick really got through the low side of 3 and 4 and actually tapped the rear bumper of the 81. He's going to take a peek to the outside. Navarro thought about a 2, almost 3 wide there for a second. Amongst your top 3. Oh, my goodness. The 81 real loose out of turn 2. gathers it back in. What a save there from the 81 machine. But Scott Merrick into the race lead with a 96 and Navarro on fresh tires right there behind him. The Schramm in the 86 trying to waste no time to get up there to the 4. Here comes the 30 of Owens to the inside of the 81. He's going to complete the pass into turn 1. The 96 and 86 side by side. They don't want to do that too long. That'll allow that 4 machine of Merrick to pull away. As they're side by side to the field, and the 14 of Ben Wirt has fallen, for lack of a better term, like a rock since the start of the green flag, way to the outside here in 3 and 4. He continues to drop spots all the way back to 14th, potentially 15th out of the 4th turn. So keep a monitor on that. Fastest lap just turned by Scott Merrick at a 30.61 that last time by. We're still side by side for the second position, Schramm and Navarro. Schramm finally completes it around the outside in kind of a power move fashion. We saw him do that on the initial start, so he knows he can get that. I call it the outside just because he's to the outside of the inside car, but it's really just one lane off the bottom, but he makes that work when he needs to in that 86. Keep an eye on that. The gap hovering about 1 second between positions 1 and 2. We're side by side. That's for the 6th position. You got Tim Henderson and Jimbo Rooney. Rooney to the inside. Henderson trying to hold on those older tires on the outside. And they're 3 wide out of turn 4. The 10 machine says, thank you very much, boys. You're going to slide up the hill. I'm going to drive it underneath you both. As they're 3 wide, drag racing down the front straightaway. Tim gives plenty of room. Everybody gave plenty of room right there. The 10 machine gets the 2 for 1, maybe, but the 27 is going to fight back on his outside. Roya and Rooney now battling for the 6th spot. Things settled out just for a moment as now Henderson's under fire from Matt Hinkle in the 52. Hinkle drives down to the inside, completes the pass easily. Folks, this just goes to show you the difference on tires here tonight is quite substantial. Here, Wirt in the 14 machines back in 16th. The 81 is in 9th, trying to hold that spot as the 67 of Ty Dickinson there to the inside, completes that pass. Tim's now back into the 10th spot. Quick check back up front with Merrick as he blinks just a little bit into turn number 1, still holds that second advantage over the 86. A couple car lengths more back to the 96 of Jordan Navarro. But as you can see, single file here through the top dozen or so. You got to get back to the 12th place position where they're side by side. Wow, Groom trying to use that outside line like we saw at the tail end of that green flag, that opening green flag run that we had. Trying to make that line work. They almost thought about 4 wide, I thought, there out of the corner. They thought better of it. Oh my goodness, be careful. Who was that? The 66 machine of Jason Haynes kind of got a little tight, almost up into the 11. The 81 trying to hold his ground there on the inside. Groom completes that pass into the top 10. Jason Haynes there in 11th. Tim Henderson in the 81 has fallen back to 12th into the clutches of Matt Taylor there in the 15. Josh Slater there as well, followed by Robert Puckett. Yeah, just to show you the last lap time, you see it here. Scott Merrick, previous lap, is showing 16.74. That's not quite right, so something's going on there. But Schramm's previous lap at a 31.25, you go back to Tim Henderson, who's on the older tires at a 31.85. Follow that up with Ben Wirt at a 31.85 as well. So 6-7 tenths a lap difference, minimum it looks like, between the tires from old to new.
I'm thinking that it's going to even out once we get going here. It could gradually increase, but I'm thinking it's gonna kind of be treated like the Cup tire here.
That there is the voice of the 81 of Tim Henderson, who is racing here tonight. He is our in-race reporter, and typically my second person in the broadcast booth, but he wanted to race here tonight, so in-race reporting is the 81 machine of Tim Henderson. I want to thank you for that, Tim.
I apologize to Josh Slater. I am on older tires. I am trying to go.
All right, there you got it. First time, we'll let Tim get back to it as he tries to hold on to the 12th spot. Merrick's gap has stayed steady there, right around a second over the 86 of Aiden Schramm. Last lap time, Schramm was just a touch quicker at a 31.29. Merrick was a 31.41. We'll see this time around. Schramm bests him there again at a 31.44. Merrick a 31.74. So Schramm starting to chip away ever so slightly at that advantage. Navarro holding steady as well at a 31.57. Looks like we got a side-by-side battle out of turn number 2. Fred Hoffman on the inside. That's going to be Jimbo Rooney around the outside. He completes the pass. The 27 of Rooney into 5th. Man, he drove too hard into 3 and slid way up the hill. Is he going to be able to maintain? And we got kind of a hornet's nest here. 4 trucks. Throw them underneath of a blanket down the front straightaway. 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Roya there in the 10 is just tagging on. They thought about 3 wide, but I don't know if it would have worked. Be careful, the 52 just slid up the hill right in behind the 27. Wow. Really, really tight battling here between these 4. Fred Hoffman has a position as he got back around Rooney. Matt Hinkle, Jake Roya, and then don't look now, but Groom is slowly reeling them in, as well as the 67 machine of Ty Dickinson. So we got quite the gaggle of cars here for the 5th position, essentially. Rooney takes a peek down to the inside of Hoffman as Hoffman kind of works the middle part of the racetrack. Able to do anything with it there? Not quite. 0.7 of a second separate your leader Merrick and second place Aiden Schramm. Just keeping an eye on this battle since we are side by side. The crazy thing is this battle is essentially 8.5 seconds almost back of our race leader, as you can't even see him in the frame. But Hinkle trying to work the outside on Rooney. Is he going to be able to complete the pass here down the back straightaway? Looks like he will. Matt Hinkle to 6th, Rooney back to 7th. Roya is right there trying to pounce as well. Armando Melgoza must have had a bit of an issue as he is spending time in the pit lane now, scored 7 laps down. Last car running currently is the 45 of Puckett. He's about 15 seconds back of the race lead. This time by, we're already half distance here in this Shamrock 100. Merrick, your leader at the halfway point. But we've got 3 good trucks here in the top 3. Scott Merrick, Aiden Schramm, Jordan Navarro has shown the pace. They're all similar on lap times. We'll have to see how strategy works its way out for the rest of this thing. And then it's kind of a gap back to the 30 machine of William Owens. He's about 4.7 seconds back of leader Merrick. And then it's that gap back to Hoffman in the 13, who's challenged with Matt Hinkle. It's Hinkle off the inside. Completes the pass on the 13. Matt Hinkle into the top 5. Hoffman trying to fight back down the back straightaway, but nothing doing there. Groom, since we were last back here, has gotten around the 27 machine of Rooney. And then still Roy out there in 9th. Ty Dickinson in the top 10. Looks like Jason Haynes following just a few truck lengths back of the 67, and then there's Tim Henderson in the 81, still on the original tires he started this race out with. Has held on. He fell back to 12th, but he's been holding steady there since. Then Josh Schlater, Matt Taylor, and Ben Wirt. And then, like I stated earlier, Robert Puckett in the 16th position. Last truck running currently.
I tell you what, we got this thing cheated up. We're catching.
Well, I'll tell you what, if anything, the tires themselves, again, the in-race reporter of the 81 of Tim Henderson there, the tires have probably equalized out up to this point. I mean, I know you run 53 laps on yours and everybody else has about, 20-something, but lap times have kind of leveled off here for sure. Leaders are still putting down some pretty decent lap times in the upper part of the 31-second bracket, but looks like from 8th on back is in the lower 32-second bracket. Merrick just continues to click off lap after lap in that 4 machine. Still holds on to an 0.8 of a second advantage over Schramm. It seems like each and every lap they trade who's a little quicker than the other. That's why the gap has stayed pretty consistent at around that 8 to 9 of a second range. Navarro a little bit loose there out of turn number 2. Saw the wiggle on his machine. Check in once again with a 30 of William Owens in his Toyota Tundra. Running nice and smooth all by his lonesome there in the 4th position. Plenty of gap in front of and behind. Matt Hinkle in the 52 back here in 5th. This is about 10.5 seconds back of leader Merrick. Hinkle, Hoffman there in 6th, Groom in 7th, Rooney now 8th, Roy at 9th, Dickinson 10th, Henderson still 11th, or actually moved up in front of the 66 of Haynes. He was 12th, so up another spot for Henderson. Josh Schlater 13th, Ben Wirt 14th. Again, Wirt fell back but has stabilized out there in the 14th position. Puckett back there went for a slide out of turn number 4. Ooh, folks, that gap's starting to creep down just ever so slightly. Schramm in the 86 machine. He has been quicker consistently the past couple of laps. So that gap slowly coming down. As I say that, the 4 has found something up about a lane and maybe trying to stretch that gap out. Oh, be careful, the 86 super loose out of turn number 4. Might have touched the wall ever so slightly right there. But he continues going, didn't lose any extra time as he still remains around that 7/10 back. But these two have separated themselves now over the 96 of Navarro as he started to fall back. He's about 2.7 seconds back now of our top 2. William Owens about 6 seconds back, still running his lap times. I want to check in one more time with the 81 machine of Tim Henderson. How's the fuel looking on that race truck?
Oh, we're golden. We're golden.
Still,
I would love a caution right about now, but you know, I think we're on pace here. I think they just. I'm hoping a little early to make it to the 100 mark, but you know, these guys, it's trucks. You can really push the clutch in, just roll as much as you can, and you'll get another 7 laps out of it if you really wanted to.
all right. I didn't know the fuel situation, but it's good to know.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to make it, but I know I definitely can. So maybe yellow, maybe yellow.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye on that as we just look behind you there. The 14 of Ben Wirt looks to the inside of that 30 machine of Slater. He completes the pass. Ben up into position 12 now. Right behind you, Tim, in the 81. Let's kind of zoom things out a little bit. You'll kind of see the spacing as you're taking a look at the 4 and the 86. That's first and second. You see the gap back to the 96 there in third, and there was just William Owens at the very top of the screen back here in position 4. And then you see the gap from fourth now back to fifth. There's Hinkle in the 52 in that Ford F-150. And then things kind of get a little closer together from fifth on back. The 8th of Rooney kind of running by himself. Roya by himself a little bit. Then we got a battle for a position inside the top 10 now as the 81 of Henderson gets to the inside of the 67 of Dickinson and puts him back into the top 10. Wirt in the 14 machine might try to follow the 81 through. Welcome Miss Navarro into the chat. All right. Well, Jordan still running in the third position, about 3.5 seconds back of race leader Scott Merrick. Might be struggling a bit on the older tires as he's lost just a touch of time to the top 2. Remember just a little bit earlier I was reporting on the 86 of Schramm had started reeling in the 4 of Merrick. Well, now that gap has started to widen out. Back to a full second between the 4 and the 86 machines. Uh-oh, looks like we got something happening on the pit lane. That's the 81. He just spoke about getting into the pit lane. He knows if he pits here, he can make it to the end. He stops in his box. Here comes the leader of Merrick, puts him 1 lap down there, but we'll see if these leaders will have to stop one more time or not. As we continue here in this Shamrock 100, only 1 caution flag so far, and I believe that was the connection issues of the 77 of Sean Smith, as he is scored out of the race. The 78 of Armando Melgoza has also retired from the evening. He's going to be scored now 17th. We'll keep an eye now on Tim Henderson just getting back out onto the racetrack here with fresher tires but in traffic. So we'll see what sort of lap times looks like for him. As Matt Taylor, Jason Haynes side by side for the 13th position. Matt Taylor completes that pass. Haynes falls back to 14th. Robert Puckett's right there as well. He might be trying to take a peek to the inside of Haynes. Not quite here through 1 and 2. Oh, we got a yellow flag car around, and I believe that is potentially.
That'd be me.
You were around?
I was half around.
Let's take a look at the 27. Oh, you kind of gave the 10 a little bit of a shot, and the 10 spins the 27 of Rooney. So we'll go back, take a look at that one more time. Those fresh tires, remember, Tim, going to roll the bottom a lot better than the 10 and 27. Gets into the 10 then turns the 27 around. That's what brought the caution flag out. So Jimbo Rooney going around there as well. All right, as we go back here with the race leaders, Merrick, Schramm, Navarro, everybody on the lead lap here is going to be pitting for service. And again, Tim just spoke about it. Not ideal for him, seeing as he just pitted and went a lap down. He'll have to stay out here to get the wave around to get back onto the lead lap. Race off of pit road. It's going to be Merrick, Schramm, Owens, Navarro, Groom, your top 5. Henderson and Puckett behind the pace car in 14th and 15th. Those two will get the wave around to put themselves on the lead lap. Well, we just clicked over to complete 70 laps already in this one. And I want to ask you guys out there in the chat, who do you think wins tonight's Shamrock 100 for that custom trophy? I think we've seen the top 3, at least the 4 86-96, have been really competitive. I mean, you got to throw the 30 in there as well, as he was running in the 4th position for much of that green flag run we just had. Two by two as we get ready for the restart here. On to the front straightaway. Pace car heads down into the pit area. Merrick in the restart zone. He hits the gas, throttles up. We're back underway in the Shamrock 100. Ooh, look at the 30 of William Owens. Got to the inside of Schramm. Might have just touched doors ever so slightly. They do there again. The 30 gets sideways, going to get loose. Locks it down. We're still green for the moment. The yellow gets displayed right there. And good heads-up driving from the 30 there, holding the brake, keeping the truck down out of the racing line. There, we'll go back and take a look at that one more time. Let's back that up ever so slightly.
Hey, I got a cheat code. How's the rear end of my truck look?
We'll take a look. We're looking at the replay here. Yeah, just the 86 and the 30 racing hard to try to maintain the 2nd position. They touch doors. The 30 gets loose, has to lock it down on the inside, and that's what brought the caution flag out. All right, we're going to check in with the in-race reporter here. In the 81 machine, got the lap back, and had a caution right away. As he works down the front straightaway, he wants to know how the truck looks. We'll take a quick peek here since he's helping us out. Yeah, it's caved in ever so slightly on the rear. It's like a half moon. But it don't look
all right. That's extra downforce.
Extra downforce. You heard it here, folks. First, folks. The 81 machine has to go through tech inspection now after this race, unfortunately.
Well, hey, I won't have to go through inspection because I got damaged.
I guess not, huh? Anyways.
I have to go in the pits and they fix this thing up.
Any takers this time around in the pit lane? No.
It's showing closed for me. So
Pit
I
lane
think
closed?
It opened up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it opened up previously. I'm not.
Yeah, it must have. Lights just went out. We got the one to go signal here. We're going to double up. You know, I don't know about you, but I'm only seeing about 13 minutes left in this session. At least that's what I'm seeing. Can you confirm that, Tim?
I believe you are way wrong. It's showing we got an hour and 40 minutes.
Okay. I don't know what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing some number that was ticking down. Again, sorry for that, as I'm looking at newer software tonight.
Maybe the projected time that it'll take.
That might be the case. Anyway, the software courtesy of Andrew Reigel, the owner of Reigel Promotions Esports. Pace cars off. We are back underway. Merrick with a great jump. As he works down into turn number 1. Navarro sticks it to the inside of the 86. Here as they're going to battle hard for the second position. Navarro a little tight. Oh, they just ever so slightly touch doors. Out of turn 2, the 86 trying to get down to the inside. Navarro not going to let him as he drives it into turn number 3. Completes the pass on the 86 of Schramm. The 96 machine of Navarro to position number 2 as Merrick tries to scoot away. 86 of Schramm, takes a peek down low. Nothing doing there into turn 1 that time, but Navarro unable to hold the inside. The 86 drives back underneath of him. Yellow flag displayed once again here tonight.
That door was closing fast. I'll just say that.
Let's take a look here at exactly what happened. Well, I'm taking a look to see, and I don't see what happened, to be honest. Oh, Tim, holy moly. Big damage there to the front end of the 81 machine. You'll see it just here on the right side of the screen. Gets loose, clips that concrete wall, and you saw the front end of his truck get destroyed, and the 27 of Rooney nowhere to go. Here, wow. That looked like big time damage, but now it shows the nose on the front of the 81, so who knows? That was the cause of the latest caution. Well, we're going to re-rack them one more time. Looks like no takers under this pit cycle.
Yeah, what was the analysis on the wreck there? Because I can tell you what happened.
Well, it looks like you got loose on the inside, trying to make a move to the inside and hit the inside wall.
Yeah, that's. I got a little scared. I won't lie. I got a little scared. I had a lot of my rear brake in it still from the previous run, but.
Well, if you would have seen what the front end of your truck looked like after that, it didn't have a nose, but now yours magically does again. So, there you go.
Well, that's because I have a cheat code. I just.
Oh.
Oh wait.
You heard it. You heard it here tonight, folks.
Oh no.
The 81 machine auto repair. Not good.
Yeah, auto generating auto repair.
This is just all fun and games, but we like to have a good time. Tim and I do when we're broadcasting races, and tonight's no different. Lights are out on the pace car, though. That means we are going to go back to green flag action in another lap.
Hey, we had fun last night too, racing at Indy.
We did. Except for I was multiple laps down, and you weren't.
Yeah, but you don't go there, dude. Don't go there. Don't you go there.
It still was a good time.
You act like you weren't still 3 times faster.
I can neither confirm nor deny that statement. All right, field back in the hands of the Ford machine of Scott Merrick. As he blinks just a bit before we get the green flag. Pace car ducks off into the restart zone. We're back underway. Great jump by the Ford. The 86 is going to try to take the position from the 96 and will complete it into turn number 2. 96 may try to battle back on the inside. No, not able to there. Aiden Schramm, P2. Jordan Navarro, position 3. Matt Hinkle 4th. Joseph Groom 5th. And they're 3 wide. Almost there for a second. That was B. Roya, Wirt, and I think that's the 66 of Haynes. For a second, battle for the lead up front. Schramm gets a peek to the inside of Merrick into turn number 1. So they're going to be side by side. Out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. These drivers know the laps are ticking away, and the Ford machine blinks out just a bit as he's going to slot right down in front of the 86. Merrick, Schramm, Navarro, the top 3, and you can see the side-by-side battling further behind. Merrick's running a little bit of a unique line, about a lane and a half up. That opens the door for the 86. The 4 got loose there. The 86 up to the inside into turn 3, completes the pass. Oh, contact between the top 2. That opens the door for the 96 and Navarro. Trying to take advantage. Out of turn number 4. Schramm, your new race leader, trying to scoot away from the drivers behind him. Merrick in position 2, trying to get into a rhythm now to chase back down the 86. Navarro 3, then Hinkle in 4th. 1 around further back, that's Slater in the 30 machine. He comes to a stop right at their entry of pit lane. Looks like he's going to get it back going. No, he spun it again on the front straightaway, stopped right in the middle of the racetrack. He's going to try once again. The leaders are going to be barreling down the back straightaway by now. Gets the truck rolling. We're going to remain under green. Side by side, I believe that's Groom and Hoffman for the 5th spot. Hoffman up the inside here. Groom still running that higher line. He's done that all race long, and you know what? It's worked for him up to this point. He holds on to the 5th spot 4 now, but Hoffman with a good run out of turn 2. Single file for the top 4. This is the first side-by-side battle here for the 5th position. Hoffman still trying to work the inside on the 11 machine of Joseph Groom. And he's not going to be able to complete it. Groom holds on to the top 5. 4 now. Hoffman falls in line behind him in position 6, but Groom really loose out of turn 4. Probably heating that right rear up, running the outside. Hoffman powers by on the inside. So Hoffman now 5th, Groom back to 6th. Up front, things starting to heat up. Only 1 truck length separate Schramm and Merrick. And then it's just a couple more truck lengths back to the 96 of Navarro. Navarro just brushes the outside wall into turn 3. You see the lap machine, or soon to be lap machine, of Josh Slater just up ahead. Lap traffic, that lap car might play a role in how the Ford decides to try to make his move around. single file pretty much all the way through the field. So we'll keep an eye on the battle for the win. Out of turn 4 this time, we're going to have 10 laps to go in the Shamrock 100. And the yellow flag gets displayed once again. Maybe Joseph Groom. We'll go back and take a look here. We'll take a look at the replay. Groom out of turn 4, gets real loose. Still loose down the front straightaway, spins, noses it to the inside of the retaining wall at the start-finish line, and brings out our next caution here tonight. Unfortunate there for the 11 machine of Groom. He had something trying to work on the outside, but I think it was heating those tires up just a little too much. Up front, the leaders are catching the pace car. We're going to check in here with our in-race reporter in the 81 machine of Tim Henderson. Well, we only got, 7, maybe 6 laps to go when we get the green flag here. What do you think you're going to do, Tim? Go in, take the tires, or are you going to stay out?
That's what I think.
Uh-oh.
I gave up track position. I definitely should have stayed on track with the leaders in all these pit cycles. But you know me, always throwing it away, trying to do something different. But yeah, I think I'm gonna come in and take my set.
Yeah, well, here we go.
I'm pretty sure.
Schramm, Merrick staying out. No, everybody's staying out right there. First taker is going to be Wirt in the 14, and followed by you and Groom in the 11. The only 3 takers right here.
I think these are the only 3 that have the set.
I
don't know.
I think you're right.
It's gonna play in our favor. You know, it's
Probably not.
a short, flat track. We'll have to see what happens.
Watch the race off of pit road here. Wirt in the 14 is going to exit first, followed by Henderson in the 81, then Groom there in the 11. Those vehicles are going to restart respectively 14th, 15th, and 16th. So a long road to hoe here with a minimal amount of laps remaining. We do have overtime, 3 overtime restarts if needed here tonight. So we'll see if those play a role or not. Lights out on the pace car, 1 lap before we go back to green flag action.
I'll go all the way down on the apron. I'm gonna go all the way down on the apron on this start here. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you heard it here. The 81 of Henderson. Keep an eye on him at the top end of the screen.
No,
in the
don't keep
black
an
and
eye
yellow.
on me. Keep an eye on the people that actually matter during this race. I have a feeling that I'm gonna have not so many friends after this race.
All right. We might be fixing ourselves up here for a classic finish at the Milwaukee Mile. Pace car is going to duck off. Schramm into the restart zone, waits close to the end before he smashes the gas pedal and restarts this race. Gets a great jump down into turn 1. Merrick got a little tight on corner entry. Tries to diamond through the center. Top 3, Schramm, Merrick, Navarro, and then they're side by side, I think 3 wide. Here for the 5th position, the 66 of Haynes to the outside. Hoffman stuck in the middle, and that's William Owens in the 30 machine on the inside. Owens going to complete the pass out of turn 4. Puts him 5th. Haynes Hoffman's going to remain side by side. Ooh, contact between the 13 and 66. Puts him up the hill. Back up front. Schramm, Merrick separated by about a truck length. As we have now 4.5 laps remaining here at the Milwaukee Mile. Mack got a great run on the inside of turns 3 and 4. Closed right up to the bumper of the 86. 4 to go. Navarro's right there in striking distance if something was to happen between the top two. Yellow flag displayed here.
My goodness.
Once again.
I need dude wipes.
We're going to take a look here at exactly what happened. Keep an eye on Wirt in the 14 machine and maybe Slater in the 30 as they work out of the turn number 2 there. This looks like the replay went back a little bit further than what I expected. Oh, contact there between the 30 and the 81.
That was not the yellow. I can confirm that was not the yellow.
Well, we're keeping an eye on it. What happens here out of turn 2? Wirt with a big run on the outside. Is that the cause of the yellow? No.
I think he went back way too far.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the replay took me back this far. But anyways, again, working out the new software.
It should have been turn 1 and 2. I think it was the 45, Robert Puckett. Maybe had some help and backed it up into the wall. And then the 10 did the same thing.
Oh, yeah, I did see it, but it was really late. But yes, the 45 of Puckett did spin around backwards.
And in the same corner, I think the 10 had some help as well. Which caused me to say, I need dude wipes.
Well, let's go back and look at it one more time quick now that we found it. I guess it's not going to let me. Okay. We know the 45 and the 10 was involved in that at the tail end. Field going to get the 1 to go signal here. Now, is this going to be a natural green-white checkered, Tim? Do you know?
This is one of our 3 GWCs.
The first of 3 attempts here. Again, green-white checkers.
I'm going to tell you guys got to watch out for that 14 machine of Ben Wirt. He started on the outside. I thought that was going to be bad for him. I thought people were going to kind of slide up in his lane. They did not, and he went even further out to the outside of him, and he was pecking him off like it was nothing.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that as he's only starting on the outside of the 4th row here. So we'll see if the outside line plays a role in this finish. Again, this is the first of 3 green-white checkered attempts. A green flag, a white flag, then the checkered. We got to get to the white flag. If we don't, we will have the second attempt. Pace car peels off. Schramm in control, and he waits till the very end of the restart zone before he gasses it up. We're back underway. The 81 really loose, looks to the outside there in 1 and 2. Schramm hugs the bottom there and separates himself by a truck length and a half over the 4 machine of Scott Merrick. Navarro clear into 3rd. Matt Hinkle thinking about taking a peek for 4th, but the battle is for the 5th spot. Owens, Hoffman. Owens in the 30 machine, Hoffman in the 13. Coming to the white flag. Oh, the 52 gets spun, but we took the white flag. We are going to finish this race this lap. We are not going to have any more attempts. This 86 of Schramm with a 3/10, now 4/10 of a second advantage over the 4 of Scott Merrick. Jordan Navarro in the 96 remains in 3rd. Final time through corners 3 and 4. Aiden Schramm out of turn number 4 for the final time. The 86 machine of Schramm wins the Shamrock 100. Your podium is going to be Scott Merrick, followed by the 96 of Jordan Navarro. Those 3 were the class of the field here tonight. They pretty much ran that way the entire 100 laps, 100 miles here at the Milwaukee Mile. The tire strategy, Ben Wirt, Tim Henderson finished 6th and 7th. They're coming down and taking those tires. Let's go keep an eye on Schramm as he heads to the front straightaway. He's going to celebrate here, I think, with some burnouts. Hashtag winner's vision as he burns it down at the start-finish line. Winner of the custom trophy here tonight. Wow. Schramm absolutely burning it down here on the front straightaway. All right. Well, let's take a look at the official results, or excuse me, the unofficial results here tonight in this Shamrock 100. Again, we talked about our top 3 already. We're going to get a word with those fellas here in a minute. 4th tonight is going to be Fred Hoffman in that 13 machine. 5th, William Owens. 6th is going to go to Ben Wirt. 7th to the 81 of Tim Henderson. 8th is going to be Ty Dickinson in the 67. 9th is going to be Jason Haynes. 10th goes to Matt Taylor. 11th place here tonight, Jimbo Rooney. 12th is Joseph Groom. 13th is Jay Groya. 14th, Robert Puckett. 15th, Matt Hinkle. 16th goes to Josh Slater. 17th, Armando Melgoza. And rounding out the field tonight is the 77 of Sean Smith. All right, if we can, we're going to... Awesome. Yeah, there you go, Tim. Your thoughts on the race here before we get to our top 3 interviews.
My thoughts on the race, I think that was easily the better, best Milwaukee Mile race I've ever been a part of, and that was fun. Again, apologies to the folks that I ruined their race. I think I got into the 10 during the pit cycle. It wasn't intentional. If he wants to reach out to me, that'd be and say some harsh things, I wouldn't blame him. Same with the move when I moved to the inside. Whoever I collected on the inside/outside row, I do apologize. I will be expecting messages from you as well.
All right, well, that's going to wrap things up with our in-race reporter, Tim Henderson. Tim, as always, thanks for coming along, doing something a little bit different tonight, being in the booth as well as driving on the racetrack.
I think that went pretty well, hey.
Yeah, first time, and I think it went as smooth as it could.
We should do that more often. Except, maybe actually not be an Alex Bowman on the track. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I'm in a Ryan Blaney scheme. I should not be a Ryan Blaney and, do dumb things like get high-sided at Sonoma.
Yeah. Okay, well, anyways, there you have it. We're going to get things switched over, talking to our top 3 drivers here tonight. Hopefully start things off with Jordan Navarro in the 96. I see him waiting. We're going to get a word with him. Hey, Jordan, it's Tyler up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, I hear you. How's it going?
It's going fantastic, man. Well, you bring that truck home tonight in the 3rd position. You ran in the top 3 all night long. You battled with the 4 Americ. You battled with the 86 of Schramm. You know, we had 2 long green flag runs. It seemed like maybe in the longer runs you struggled just a touch compared to the 86 and the 4, but on the short runs you were right there when you needed to be. I know we had the green-white checkered here to finish things out. You know, what maybe did you need out of the truck differently to really, really battle the 86 and 4 tonight?
Well, first off, we're not going to talk about my long run strategy. That was not good. So we're not going to talk about that one. But I mean, out of the truck, I just kind of needed a little bit more grip out of the front right. I don't know what they were doing differently. I might have had brake bias set too far forward or what, but I just ended up running out of tire wear a little too much. And then I just don't know how they were pulling away. I was trying to figure it out as we were going and trying to change things up, but yeah. So I mean, coming home with a 4th podium in a row, I'll be happy with that. Still should be holding the points lead, so can't complain.
Absolutely. Well, a fantastic night point-wise, and I know this is a little different for interviewing purposes. I know I haven't been around all season long. This is my first race broadcasting in quite some time, but it was a joy to be a part of it with y'all.
Well, good. I'm glad you had some fun. We had some fun on the track too, bickering back and forth, and me and Shram for a while we're trying to figure out how to get back to Merrick because he just kept pulling away, and then yeah, it was a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind if they bring this track to the ground now. I mean, there's like no banking. It's a rough track. It is
Right.
rough.
Yeah, Milwaukee is rough, that's for sure. Well, Jordan, before we let you go here tonight, anybody you need to thank?
Yeah, I got a whole group of people. I want to thank my beautiful fiance. I don't know if you saw the truck at all. Tomorrow's her birthday, so I kind of try to birthday the truck out. So I want to wish her a happy birthday. I want to thank my parents, my best friend Malik, my buddy Rudy, my grandparents. I want to thank all the Sweet Tea Gang. All of them are helping out. I mean, I'm getting podiums and stuff, and they they really haven't been. But I mean, it's a group effort. I'm getting help from them, and without them, I wouldn't be up getting podiums and stuff all season long. And want to thank Jake Roya with I think he changed it to Apex Graphics now. I think is what it is, but I could be wrong. I'm sorry, he might hurt me for that one. But I want to thank him for the wraps. He does an amazing job, and I love the color schemes he puts together for us. Then I want to thank Andrew for putting on the promotion, you for broadcasting, and everybody for joining. It's been fun.
Absolutely. Well, we certainly appreciate you getting a word in here with us tonight, and we'll let you celebrate your 3rd place finish.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one.
You as well. All right. Now let's move things up to our 2nd place finisher here tonight. That's going to be Scott Merrick. Hey, Scott, it's Tyler up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, what a night for you tonight. You were up front. You paddled. It seemed like the 86 all night. The 96 was there a little bit. You led some laps. You and the 86 traded a little paint. You traded the lead. You know, overall, take us a little bit through your night. You know, I know the green flag runs, it seemed like you maybe had the better long run speed over the 86. I know we got the short run there at the end with the green-white checker, but just take us through it.
Um, it was great. We qualified, I think, 2/10 quicker. I think I could have went quicker. Not trying to sound crazy. I just got loose. But yeah, at the beginning of the race, I noticed how quick he was. And I mean, I could have been that quick, but I felt like I would just I would have just burned the tires. I don't know how to be quick without burning them. So I was worried, and I decided to save a little. And then I caught him at the end of that run, but the first caution came out. We got a new set, and he did it again. But this time, I decided to push early, but I was able to conserve him and be able to push. But man, I got all the way out, and then when I saw that caution, I was like, I got one more set. I can make it last 30 laps, will be good. And on one of the restarts, I missed the corner, went high, and he got under me. And I don't know, man. Him on Aiden on fresh tires, I just can't keep up with him. I just can't. So it's a tough break.
Yeah, absolutely. You still, you know, don't Don't be too hard on yourself. You still had a great run tonight, coming away with that second place finish. Got to be good for points as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, Scott. Well, before we let you go tonight, anybody you need to thank?
Coast to Coast, some sports. They were in the they were in the spotter stands for me tonight, giving me some tips and helps. Uh, Reigel for throwing this up. I've This is my first NASCAR like asphalt league, so this is pretty fun. And I don't really have anybody else.
All right. Well, Scott, congratulations on finishing second here tonight. Let you celebrate it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's talk to our winner here tonight. Hey, Aiden, it's Tyler up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, man. Well, what a battle. What a race. You traded the top spot with Merrick all night long. You guys seemed like you were the class of the field. And you got that short run at the end. Scott ended up saying that he doesn't know what it is, but on fresh tires, he doesn't have much for you. And I guess it showed there on that late race restart.
Yeah, I think it definitely goes back to my roots of 10-year-old me on the sim and uh, me just going, oh, I can run fast laps all the time, and then my tires would just go out, and even 14-year-old me now on the sim with 5 years of experience, close to 5 years on the sim, I think I could still use that to my advantage, and you know I'm just really good at fresh tires, I guess. I mean, I run a lot of dirt where it's not really high stakes in conserving tires, and I think it just played out there, and I pushed it aggressive. I definitely knew it was going to be a shorter run, and no, like there was a few people with an extra set of tires at the end that they took, but I just knew that it would hopefully play out. I mean, I guess I didn't know the strategy was hope, which is not always the best strategy, but it played out this one, and it ended up with me and whenever my trophy gets here.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting that custom trophy for bringing home the checkered flag here in the Shamrock 100. Well, Aiden, I don't know how the point standings look this season or if you've been a part of it, but tonight's definitely got to help.
Yeah, I've been running right now. I'm in the fourth spot. It hasn't been that great. I've had the speed all season. I just haven't had the results. First race, I started off with by leading nearly all the laps, and then just one strategy at the end blew it up, and I ended up with a devastating P11. And then I won at Talladega, which is crazy because that's not really a track that would take as much talent per se. It's more gas and go. And then um, unfortunately at Iowa, I led 100 out of 150 laps. Started from the back, drove my way up to the field, led majority of the race, and just again same thing strategy, except I held off for second. But overall, um, to be honest, I'm not too concerned about the points. I signed up for this league with the goal of winning this race or Auto Club. It's not really something I've actually put a lot of preparation to though. But I have put some. I've put in a lot of effort all season so long, and overall, I'm just really happy that I can get my first ever sim racing trophy. Like I said, I've been doing this for over 5 years now, and I'm just really stoked about this. I have a bunch of medals from playing sports and everything, but I mean they were participation medals, but it's gonna be nice to add a trophy that I earned to the collection.
Yeah, absolutely. And in my experience, Regal Promotions here, they have some really nice custom trophies made, so you'll have some nice hardware taking it home here tonight. Before we let you go, who do you need to thank?
First off, all glory to God. Amen, hallelujah. And then I said that so wrong. I can't even say it. And then I'd like to thank Hauling Water Well Service LLC. They sponsored me. They're sponsoring me for all my live stream races, and it's really nice. And I really appreciate them. The rap is sick that I made up, and I think it really puts the company out there well. And then I'd like to thank all my family and friends watching. I know a couple of them as like my grandma, my mom, and my dad were all watching, and then Probably my grandpa too, and then uh, one of my band friends, Trey, and one of my school friends, Ethan, were all watching. I really appreciate them watching, and any other friends watching that I don't know of, I really appreciate it. And then overall, anyone who has got me to this point, I'm gonna be super stoked about receiving the trophy and hardware. I know it's always not about the trophy and it's about the effort and the win overall, but it definitely adds to the win. So I'm just really freaking excited about this.
Absolutely. Well, you should be, Aiden. We're going to let you go celebrate it.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, folks, that's going to do it here from up in the broadcast booth. That's going to conclude our interviews here tonight and conclude our time at the Milwaukee Mile for this Shamrock 100. And I'll tell you, it had been a fantastic night. It seemed like 100 laps to me went by in the blink of an eye, and it's been, about a year since I've been up in the broadcast booth, and it was quite a joy to get back up here and bring this live race to you all at home here for Reigel Promotions Esports. Again, shout out to Andrew for asking me to be a part of this broadcast here in this Pavement Ignition series tonight. But that's going to do it for us here on the Buckeye Racing Network. For Tim Henderson, I'm Tyler Bentley. Good night.